that should be the duty of journalists. That is what Jeyaraj has said. The duty of journalists is to challenge the people who are in authority and also talk honestly and talk against injustice. So after his Harvard education, he migrated to Canada, and he ran two journals there, in Tamil, Sentamarai and Manjari, and we know what happened with them. The community has been, can't say the community, but sectors of, indecent sectors of the community has been very rude, very unfair to him, and so we know ultimately what happened to these two journals. It reflects the state of our community. His affection to Tamil nationalism is not blindfolded, and he believed in democratic discussion. And when I'm having his Tamil script here and trying to translate it in a few words. So when the political movements refused to allow discussions, they rejected discussions. He warned that it's a disturbing path to the Tamil people. So basically, we all observed that the mouths were shut, discussions were stopped brutally, and so Jeyaraj has written that this is not good, and he warned that this is not good for the community. So it turned out that way. Finally, his departure marks an era of journalistic documentation of the Tamil national struggle. That's what Kanawar Singh has condensed his writing. He's wrote a lot of things, including Iran and all that. But his main writing is a record. It's a truthful, honest record of a documentation record of the Tamil national struggle. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Mr. Nityanandan, for your comments. And are there any other participants who would like to say a few words? Or
it's basically the forum is open. I mean, everyone just keep the time. Bala, you been with their family and you know them long? Yeah, unmute and please.
anyone else who would like to say a few words until Bala unmutes?
Yeah, this is Shama.
Hi, Shama. Thank you.
I'd like to say just a few words.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just going to speak. My camera is playing up. So I just want to talk a little bit about, I think everybody knows about his journalistic career and what he stood for, which we all admire. But Arjuna and I'm sorry, Arjuna is not too well, so he can't join us. For us, what we cherished most was his friendship. We got to know him as young reporters when we were in 1979. There was times when he and I would be reporting at the same place, and he'd always wait at the bus stand till my bus came. He would not let me stand alone at a bus stand. He's going to Veerakesari, I was going to the Sun, but that's the kind of friendship we had. And wherever in the world we were, he would track us down to wish us on our birthday. Most days, I would miss his birthday by a day or two, and he never let me forget that. He actually, on last Sunday, I don't know what happened. I knew his birthday was this week. I forgot. And I just sent him a message on Sunday. That's the 17th, the day he passed away, saying, hey, birthday. I forgot that it was the 21st. The first thing that came to my mind was Jeyaraj when I woke up that morning. So I don't know, maybe he was messaging me the day he passed away that don't forget me kind of thing. But I just want to talk about the friendship we had and what a wonderful, supportive person he has been to both Arjun and me throughout our life. Thanks. Can't I now close this?
Thank you, Mama, for your comments.
Thank you.
Speaking about your friendship.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Who is
Yes, I want me. This is Bala.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we can hear
Rama,
you.
thank you very much for your comments and as family friends, what you have experienced. Okay, Mr. Bala.
Okay, I am Balachandran. I am in Toronto. Briefly, I was working at Veeragasari for 2 years in 1985 to 1987. That's a very crucial period at the time. The Indian Army was in Sri Lanka and the peace accord and everything. I was covering at Veeragasari at the time as a diplomatic correspondent. I used to go for these briefings, and at the time I met Jeyaraj at the meeting with him. Before that, I was an ardent reader of him. I used to read his island article behind the Kajan curtain. I started to read him at the time at Island newspaper. Later on, I am the follower of his other newspapers, Sunday Times and everything. And at the time, when he was covering at diplomatic round with Dixit or anything, earlier he was very friendly and they were going along with. But until he had met with Deputy LTT leader, Mr. Mahathir. After that, only everything started, and he was, I think it's almost two, I don't know, I don't remember how many days, more than 1 month he was at the CID headquarters, and he written everything briefly. Besides that, when I was in Toronto, I used to meet him, but I remember one thing. One day we met in one place and I offered him I dropped him at house when I was driving because he came in a taxi or something. And when I was driving, and one point I asked him, where do I have to drop you? He told, okay, Bala, drop me at the one junction. I told, why? I would drive to your home. He smiled and told that it's okay, Bala, I could walk and you just go ahead. The reason at that time, he doesn't want to know where he was living in. So I realized that only after I dropped him only. I think he doesn't want to reveal where he was. That was the moment I realized how much threatened and how much he feared for his life or being as a journalist. But as Mr. Kumar Suruskanda told once, like a occupational threat, these are the occupational hazards, because he knows that he accepted that, but he continued to write what he believes is right. He criticized and he wrote whenever these peace meetings are in jeopardy, he always say no, they should have break it. They had to continue that. They had to go for. But some people argue that he is a LTT sympathizer, but not all the time. At the same time, some people say that he wrote lots of things against LTTE, but that's not, because there are both sides. But he always wrote what he believed is right. Actually, at the time I was working at Veeragesari, Mr. Muruga Bhuvadi, Mr. Tanambala Singham, me are very good friends. And recently, Muruga Bhuvadi came to Canada like 3 years ago to Canada. He asked me, Bala, when I am here, like I want to meet certain people. So I told that, okay, I would arrange. So I was trying to meet what do you call the DBS Jeyaraj, but I couldn't catch him. So many times I called him, I messaged him, he never returned. But later on, I got his contact and I told that Bhuvadi is coming, we had to meet. She was so reluctant, but later on he told, okay, Bala, come to my house. As Mr. Mali told, I took Muruga Bhuvadi and we went home. When I see him, I was so because and at the time only I realized that this is the reason he doesn't want to meet us, because he doesn't want to reveal his physical condition to others. But after we meet, and he was very joyful, and we were meeting there almost 2 hours, and we had lunch, and Mr. Bhuvadi was there, and we were taking photos and everything, and we reached home, and we were very, very friendly with them and his wife, Darshini too at the time. After that, I don't know, I miss him, and he is so brave, and he wrote whatever he thought is right, and he cared our people. That's how it stands for. And we had to celebrate his life. And Mr. Anderson told that we are going to have a meeting. I was so happy because we had to celebrate his life. Thank you very much, Mr. Lionel Bobage and Nadesan and the others to participate me and say a few words about my colleague. He is I was only 2 years as a journalist, but he is, for the lifetime, he's a journalist, and he is, I don't think it could be replaceable, because he is very knowledgeable in each and every area. I used to read, I read all his articles, almost 90%. Maybe I missed 1 or 2, but I always read his articles, and I always comment his article, and he replied back, and sometimes he called and we talk. Anyway, thank you very much. I leave the other people to have their own comments, and we like to listen each of them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bharat. Speaking from your personal experiences and your friendship with Mr. Jeyaraj, and yeah.
Can I,
yeah,
Lionel, can I get, he can't get to the Zoom, so he wanted to speak through the phone. Anand.
okay.
I will call him. ஐயா நீங்க ஸ்பீக்கர்ல போற நீங்க பேசுங்க. கேக்குதோ? பேசுங்க.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nadesan, for taking me into this program. Great to pay tribute to our late friend David Sabapati Jeyaraj. Well, I first came in touch with him when I was at Ilnadi Jaffna. I joined Ilnadi Jaffna, one of the foremost regional dailies in the countries of Jaffna. So I met him in 1984. He came to meet my late news editor, Mr. K.G. Mahadeva. So they were good friends for a long period, and they only first met him. And thereafter, we were in touch with each other. So it's very sad to see that the media fraternity in Sri Lanka and the Tamil media fraternity at large We have lost a very wonderful classic journalist who had contributed in a very magnificent way to highlight Tamil issues as well as issues which he had dealt with. DBS Jeyaraj was a very refined and a very classic journalist. But soon after his death, soon after his demise, I came across some of his friends, and some of them told me that if he had lived in Sri Lanka, he would have had the same fate like Taraki Sivaram, Lasanta Vikramatunga, or Nadezak from Eastern Province, another veteran Tamil journalist. So I told them, no, it is not like that. The approach and the writing style and the way how DBS handled the issues he came across was wonderful. He didn't antagonize anybody, but Jeyaraj was very diplomatic in his outlook, and he was presenting in a manner, it was without hurting anything, but whereas he was coming with exact facts and figures to give his whatever the things he came out with. So it was DBS Jeyaraj. So everybody appreciated it, even the defense side, the political side, and even the commentary. His writing style and the style of writing, his language, everything was wonderful. And he made the point that he is presenting the fact. I mean, he is not antagonizing everybody. That was DBS Jeyaraj, and I liked him a lot. And it was a few months ago that one of his other colleague, Veerakati from editor of Veer, he translated some of his writings. That is mainly on Arun Kumar Disanayaka, President Arun Kumar Disanayaka. Soon after he came to power, he had written some wonderful 7 articles about President Arun Kumar Disanayaka. He wrote it from Canada. That's the most important thing. Very precise, exact details about Arun Kumar Disanayaka. When I went through those things, I was able to understand that he had sort of ventured in a way that how Abraham Lincoln from log cabin to White House, from that style only he had adapted, and he wrote that wonderful piece, and it was translated by Veerakati Dhanabala, a former editor of So I was asked to review that particular book, what he had written. Arun Kumar Disanayaka book was actually worked out by Veerakati, actually Dhanabala on those writings, and that came out beautifully. So I was thinking how nicely he had collected all the very exact details about the president, how he grew up in his own village and entered the university, then into politics, JVP. You know very well how JVP was struggling during their early stages, how the early governments were all out to sort of annihilate them. So during that period, how he really managed to escape from all these threats and everything. So details were very well focused by DBS Jeyaraj, and that was his journalism. And he was a wonderful guy, Anyway, I didn't get the opportunity to working with him or anything like that. But I had the opportunity of working with some of his friends who were my editors at Lake House. One of the very, very renowned editor, Ajit Samannaika of Sunday Observer, and another colleague of him at the island, Prasad Gunawardana. Both of them were very good journalists, and they were my editors as well at Sunday Observer. And they used to say, talk about a lot of things about DBS Jeyaraj. We were very fond of him, and very vivid stories about him. How he, apart from his work and everything, how he sort of interacted with his friends, how jovial character, and was a jolly good guy and everything. So I came to know a lot of things about him. through my seniors, this Samanaka and Prasanth Kumar, and another lady, Fahima Farid, was very much in touch with him. And when he last visited Sri Lanka, he even visited Fahima Farid, a senior journalist, and he had sort of dined with her at home. So it was DBS Jeyaraj, and he was a wonderful soul, and he had meetings on so many topics, not only in the Indian side. He had written about even Rukmani Devi of Sri Lankan, one of the film icon and one of the foremost artists in Sri Lanka, a film career, a music career, and other things, Kamini Fonseca. And very recently, I read a wonderful piece by him about Subbulakshmi Swami, the Carnatic, iconic Carnatic figure of India. And the way he had presented about background details were marvelous, I don't think even any Indian journalist would have done it in a way that how it was done by DBS Jeyaraj, because wonderful. Of course, there are a lot of stories about Subbulakshmi because I am very fond of reading her stories. But the beauty in DBS Jeyaraj's writings was that he collected everything in a beautiful way, and he had put them in a shell to make sure that it's reader friendly. So any common reader can really appreciate and read his stories.
Thank you. Thank you, Anand. Thank you very much. Yeah. I'll ask other people because I'm the list. I listen, but I ask them other people. Everyone were able to listen that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was good.
Yes, but now only I know that the Anand Balakatta, you never introduced before.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Saddar? Anybody want to make comment, please? The forum is there for you.
I hope this is not an indiscreet question, especially since we are remembering him. But somebody did say something about his condition or physical condition. I do know about the baseball bat incident from 1993. I read about it. Did that, and pardon me if this is thought of as an indiscreet question, did that cause any kind of, forgive this word, deformity? I've never met him.
No, Sadish.
No.
There was no permanent damage. It was a minor fracture, and he recovered quicker from that. Yeah.
Well, at least physically.
Yes, but physically also, but mentally, it permanently put a fear in his mind.
Yeah, he didn't move out that much.
Yes, because of that.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because I really did want to meet him, but I think Meena, somebody interviewed him about 20 years ago. I do remember that article, and I think when that article came out, I think she even said that it was very hard to get a hold of him for the interview. And so, yeah, small people like me couldn't meet him. So it would have been so wonderful to meet him, because he did, at least from my vantage point, for me, he was like a hero.
Well, he kept a low profile after what happened, but that didn't stop him from writing or standing up for what he believed in. That's the greatness about him, I think.
There is one thing I can say about it. I mean, is a habit also. He had a habit of writing in the night and sleeping in the daytime. So sort of as his wife said, he still having the Sri Lankan time zone. So that is one thing, he also, if I used to talk to him, but most of the time, Australian time or his time after 2 o'clock. So sometime, Canadian Toronto 4 up to early morning 4 o'clock, we were able to talk. So his timing is one thing. He hasn't, he's sort of very different from other people,
Thank you. So, Comrade Bhupati would like to say a few words.
I can speak in Tamil.
Yeah. That's
Go
fine.
ahead.
Yes.
It's 3 language policy we have.
தோழர் லயனல் போப்பகே அவர்களுக்கும் எனது அருமை நண்பர் நடேசன் அவர்களுக்கும் இந்த இரங்கல் நிகழ்ச்சியில் இணைந்திருக்கின்ற அனைத்து நண்பர்களுக்கும் வணக்கம். நண்பர் டிபிஎஸ் ஜெயராஜ் வீரகேசரியில் இணைந்த 1977 ஆண்டு 1977 பகுதியில் நானும் நண்பர் தனபாலசிங்கமும் ஒப்பு நோக்காளராக இணைந்து கொண்டோம். டிபிஎஸ் ஜெயராஜ் நிர்வாக சிறப்பாக பணிய காலகட்டம் 1978 கிழக்கு மாகாணத்தில் சூறாவளி வந்து பொதுமக்கள் பாதிக்கப்பட்ட நேரம் அங்கே செய்தி
கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டப்படுத்துது. I think முருகபூபதி போன்ல பிரச்சனையோ என்ன தெரியல. அப்படியால் மற்றவர்கள் யாராவது பேசலாம். சத்தார், I mean, it's a very democratic forum. பூபதி,
நான் கொழும்புக்கு பயணமாகி வீரஸ்ரீ அலுவலகத்திலே அந்த செய்திகள் அனைத்தையும் வழங்கினேன். அப்பொழுது பிரதம ஆசிரியர் இருந்தவர் கே சிவபிரகாசம் அவர்கள், டேவிட் ராஜு செய்தி ஆசிரியர் இருந்தார். ஜெயராஜ் தந்த தகவலின் அடிப்படையில் நான் ஒரு செய்தி கட்டுரையையும் எழுதினேன். ஜெயராஜ் நகைச்சுவையாக பேசக்கூடியவர். அப்பொழுது சோவியத் தூதுவராலயம் தகவல் பிரிவு சர் ஏர்னஸ்டி சில்வா மாவத்தை புலவர் ரோடு என்று சொல்லப்படுகின்ற அமைந்திருந்தது. அதன் அருகில்தான் யாழ்ப்பாண எம்பி மார்ட்டினுடைய வீடும் இருந்தது. நீங்கள் அதாவது ஒழுகதவத்த என்ற திரைப்படத்தில் பார்க்க முடியும். அந்த கட்டிடத்துக்கு அருகில்தான் இருந்தது ராஜபக்ச என்பவருடைய, அதாவது முன்பு மீன்பிடி அமைச்சராக இருந்த ராஜபக்சருடைய மகள் இருந்த வீடு. அங்கே ஒரு திரைப்படத்துக்கான காட்சிகள் எடுக்கப்பட்டன. அதிலே ரவீந்திர ரந்தனியே நடித்தார். டிபிஎஸ் ஜெயராஜ் அவர்கள் தமிழ், சிங்கள, ஆங்கில, இதர இந்திய மொழி படங்கள், கொரியன் படங்களில் எல்லாம் ஆர்வம் உள்ளவர். எல்லாம் சென்று வந்து எழுதுவார். எனக்கு நன்றாக ஞாபகம் இருக்கின்றது, அவ்வேளையிலே அந்த திரைப்பட தொடக்க விழாவுக்கு சென்று வந்த DBS ஜெயராஜ் ஞாயிற்றுக்கிழமை வீரேஸ்வரி அவர் ரவீந்திர ரந்தனிய என்ற பெயரை ரவீந்திர என்று எழுதியிருந்தார். நோக்கம் இருந்தபடினால் அதனை உபாலி விஜயவர்களுடைய இரவு பணியிலே செய்தி ஆசிரியராக இருந்த நடராஜா பணியில் இருப்பார், நாங்களும் இருப்போம். நீண்ட நேரம் ஜெயராஜும் நடராஜாவும் உரையாடுவார்கள். பல செய்திகளை ஜெயராஜிடம் அந்த இன்வெஸ்டிகேஷன் ஜேர்னலிசம் என்று சொல்லப்படுகின்ற கூர்ந்து அவதானித்து செய்திகளை சேகரித்து கொடுக்கின்ற பண்பு, நடராஜா அவற்றையெல்லாம் கேட்டு கிரகித்து கொண்டு செய்திகள் எழுதுவார். மிகச்சிறந்த நண்பர், நகைச்சுவையாக பேசக்கூடியவர். நான் 87ஆம் ஆண்டு வீரேசை விட்டு வெளியேறி ஆஸ்திரேலியா வந்து விட்டேன். ஜெயராஜ் அவர்கள் பின்னாளிலே கனடாவுக்கு சென்ற பொழுது நானும் நண்பர் நடேசனும் 2007ஆம் ஆண்டு கனடாவுக்கு சென்ற பொழுது ஜெயராஜை சந்தித்தோம். அன்று அவருடைய வீட்டிலே நாங்கள் சந்திக்கவில்லை, நாங்கள் சந்தித்தது ஒரு உணவு விடுதியிலே. மிகவும் உபசரிக்கும் பண்பும் அவரிடம் இருந்தது. நடேசன் அதற்கான பணத்தை கொடுக்க முன்வந்த பொழுது ஜெயராஜ் மறுத்து விட்டார். தானே நீங்கள் என்னுடைய விருந்தாளி என்று சொல்லி எங்களை உபசரித்தார். அதன் பின்னர் கடந்த 22ஆம் ஆண்டு நினைக்கிறேன், மெல்பர்னுக்கு கனடாவில் இருக்கின்ற எழுத்தாளர் ஸ்ரீரஞ்சனி விஜயேந்திரா வந்த பொழுது நான் அவரை சந்தித்தது ஒரு இல்லத்தில், கிரென்பவெளி என்ற பிரதேசத்தில் ஒரு இல்லத்திலே. அப்பொழுது ஒரு செய்தி தெரிய வந்தது. ஸ்ரீரஞ்சனி விஜயேந்திரா தங்கியிருந்த அந்த வீடு, அந்த சகோதரர் வீட்டிலிருந்த சகோதரியுடைய சகோதரிதான் தர்ஷினி ஜெயராஜ். அப்பொழுது அவர் மற்றொரு சுவாரஸ்யமான செய்தியை சொன்னார். நண்பர் மாவினித்தி அண்ணன் சொன்னார், தங்களுக்கு அவர் ஒரு வகையிலே ஜெயராஜ் உறவினர் என்பது பிற்காலத்தில் தெரிய வந்தது என்று. அன்று தர்ஷினியுடைய சகோதரி வீட்டிலே மதிய உணவு அருந்திய பொழுதுதான் எனக்கு ஒரு செய்தி தெரிய வந்தது. உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் தெரியும், தமிழர் புனர்வாழ்வு கழகத்தின் தமிழ் அகதிகள் புனர்வாழ்வு கழகத்தின் ஸ்தாபகர் கந்தசாமி காணாமலாக்கப்பட்டவர். கந்தசாமி அவர்களுடைய உறவினர்களால் அவர்கள், அதாவது DBS ஜெயராஜுடைய துணைவியாரும் இங்கிருந்த சகோதரியும் கந்தசாமியுடைய உறவினர்கள். இவ்வாறு ஆனால் பின்னாளிலே அவருக்கு குருநாகல் போன்ற பிரதேசங்கள் கூட அவருக்கு உறவினர்கள் இருந்தார்கள். காலப்போக்கில் தான் எனக்கு தெரிய வந்தது, சுமந்திரன் அவருக்கும் ஜெயராஜுக்கும் உறவு இருந்தது. ஆனால் அவற்றை எல்லாம் பெரிதுபடுத்தி பேசுவது இல்லை. எப்பொழுதும் சுவாரஸ்யமாக பேசுவார். நடேசன் குறிப்பிட்டது போல் நீண்ட நேரம் உரையாடுவார். இறுதியாக சில வருடங்களுக்கு முன்னர் நான் இலங்கையில் நின்ற பொழுது அவர் நீண்ட நேரம் என்னுடன் தொலைபேசியில் ஒரு இரவு பொழுதிலே உரையாடினார். அவரிடம் ஒரு பண்பு இருக்கிறது, ஒரு செய்தியை அறிந்தார் என்றால் அது சம்பந்தமான ஆட்களை எல்லாம் தொடர்பு கொண்டு அவரிடமிருந்து செய்திகளை சேகரித்து மேலும் மேலும் சேகரித்து அதனை விரிவாக எழுதுவார். இதில் எனக்கு மிகுந்த மனவருத்தம் என்னவென்றால், கடந்த 23ஆம் ஆண்டு நான் கனடா சென்ற பொழுது நண்பர் மாலிச்சந்திரன் குறிப்பிட்ட கனடா சென்ற உடனே பாலச்சந்திரன் தான் என்னை விமான நிலையத்துக்கு வந்து அழைத்து சென்ற பொழுது நான் காலையிலே வரும் பொழுது சொன்னேன், நான் அங்கே சந்திக்க வேண்டியவர்களுடைய பேர் விவரங்களை சொன்ன பொழுது பாலச்சந்திரன் என்னை அழைத்து சென்றார். பாலச்சந்திரன் சொன்னது போன்று நான் திகைத்து போனேன். 2007ஆம் ஆண்டு நான் பார்த்த ஜெயராஜுக்கும் 23ஆம் ஆண்டு நான் பார்த்த ஜெயராஜுக்கும் நிரம்ப வித்தியாசம் இருந்தது. அவரால் எழுந்து நிற்க முடியவில்லை. எனக்காக எழுந்தென்று ஒரு படம் எடுத்தார். பாலச்சந்திரன் அந்த படத்தை எடுத்தார். பிறகு அமரச் சொல்லி என்னுடைய சினிமா பார்த்ததும் கேட்டதும் என்ற நூலை அவருக்கு வழங்கினேன். அந்த நூல் பற்றி நண்பர் மூர்த்தி கனடா தொலைக்காட்சி ஒன்றிலே என்னை பேட்டியும் கண்டிருக்கிறார். அதாவது டிபிஎஸ் ஜெயராஜ் அரசியல் சார்ந்த செய்திகளை மட்டுமல்ல, சினிமா சம்பந்தப்பட்ட செய்திகளையும் நிறைய எழுதியிருக்கிறார். அண்மையிலே நரேசனுடைய பதிவுகளை பார்க்கின்றேன், அவர் டி.எம். சவுந்தரராஜனை பற்றி கூட எழுதியிருக்கின்றார். என்ன இதில் வேதனை என்னவென்றால், நண்பர் தனபாலசிங்கத்தினுடைய பத்திரிகை துறையில் என் கதை என்ற நூல் எழுதிவிட்டு அவர் எனக்கு அதற்கு ஒரு கருத்துரை எழுதி தருமாறு கேட்டிருந்தார். எழுதி அனுப்பினேன். அந்த புத்தகத்துடைய வெளியீடு கடந்த 17ஆம் தேதி கொழும்பிலே நடைபெற்றது தமிழ்ச்சங்கத்திலே. அதில் ஜெயராஜுடைய ஆங்கில பதிவு இருந்தது. சிட்னியில் இருக்கின்ற சந்திரிகா சுப்பிரமணியம் வீரசில் பணியாற்றியவர், அவருடைய பதிவு இருந்தது. என்னுடைய பதிவும் இருந்தது. அந்த நிகழ்ச்சி கொழும்பு தமிழ்ச்சங்கத்திலே நடந்து கொண்டு இருந்த பொழுது புரவலர் ஹாசிம் உமர், குமார் நடேசன் போன்றெல்லாம் அந்த மேடையில் இருக்கிறார்கள். எல்லோரும் பேசிக்கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். தனபாலசிங்கம் பேச வேண்டிய நேரம் வருகிறது, ஏற்புரை நிகழ்த்த வேண்டிய நேரம். அப்பொழுது தனபாலசிங்கத்துடைய கைத்தொலைபேசிக்கு டிபிஎஸ் ஜெயராஜ் மறைந்து விட்டார் என்ற அதிர்ச்சியான செய்தி வருகிறது. தனபாலசிங்கத்தால் அதனை ஜீரணிக்க முடியவில்லை. ஏற்புரை சொல்வதற்காக எழுந்த தனபாலசிங்கம் கண்கலங்கி உணர்ச்சி வசப்பட்டு தன்னால் தொடர்ந்து பேச முடியவில்லை. நண்பர் ஜெயராஜ் மறைந்து விட்டார். இதில் என்ன வேடிக்கை என்றால், அதுதான் ஜெயராஜ் எழுதிய கடைசி ஆக்கம். இது பற்றி தயான் ஜெயலலிதா தன்னுடைய பதிவொன்றிலே குறிப்பிட்டிருக்கிறார். உண்மையிலேயே மிகுந்த வேதனை தருகின்றது. பலரும் விசாரணைக்கு அழைக்கப்பட்டவர்கள், எமது நண்பர் தோழர் லயனல் போப்பகே போன்று பலரும் விசாரணைக்குள்ளாக்கப்பட்டவர்கள். மிக நெருக்கடியான காலகட்டத்திலே உயிரை பணயம் வைத்து ஜெயராஜ் அவர்கள் பணியாற்றினார். தராக்கி சிவராம், லசந்த விக்ரமதுங்க உட்பட பலர் கொல்லப்பட்டார்கள். பல பத்திரிகையாளர்கள் காணாமலாக்கப்பட்டார்கள். அக்னலியா கூட போன்றவர்கள் காணாமலாக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறார்கள். இந்த பின்னணியில் ஜெயராஜ் அவர்கள் இவ்வளவு காலம் வாழ்ந்ததை பெரிய விடயம். எனவே இந்த சந்தர்ப்பத்திலே இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை ஒழுங்கு செய்த நண்பர் நடேசனுக்கும் இதனை ஒருங்கிணைத்து நடத்துகின்ற தோழர் லயனல் போப்பகே அவர்களுக்கு நன்றி தெரிவிக்கின்ற அதே நேரத்தில் ஜெயராஜ் அவருடைய அன்பு துணைவியார் மற்றும் உறவினர்களுக்கு எனது ஆழ்ந்த அனுதாபங்களையும் தெரிவித்து அவருடைய துயரத்தில் நானும் கலந்து கொள்கிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you, comrade.
நன்றி பூவதி.
Anyone else?
The forum is open. Please, anyone unmute பண்ணி போட்டு நீங்க பேசலாம்.
I have a humorous, what I think is a humorous story to relate, if it's okay. In my efforts to try to meet him, I was getting frustrated in trying to meet him. So I decided to play a little trick, which actually backfired. I posted on Facebook claiming that I actually meet him every week at a bar and have drinks. I'm a teetotaler. I don't drink any alcohol. So he found out about this and he confronted me. And he said, you're a liar. on social media. He told me I was a liar. And I said, no, you should know that I was joking. No, I'm not taking this as a joke. And then I said, okay, I've removed it. And I think he has forgiven me because the last several years he's been wishing me happy birthday. So my effort to try to meet him actually backfired, but that's my little humorous story there. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Vishnu.
Murthy, anything you want to say?
No, and I can say something in Tamil or English. Sorry, Mr. Lionel.
No, that's okay.
You go, and I'm not a fan of his writing, but I always admired his writings. I don't know why, and it's. I always fascinated the way he writes. He collects a lot of information and presents it in a form that, it's very interesting to watch. And also one more thing, I have to say that, I met him only 2 or 3 times. And initially, we were not in a very good, it doesn't mean that, I am in the camp of some camp of LTT or anything, but in other words, we were running a newspaper called Thayagam. On that newspaper was very much marked as an anti-LTT newspaper, but we were confronting DBS because of that time. He understood he understood his audience, and he was writing a lot of articles towards that audience. So naturally, we had some, but we met and. He's a very entertaining person, and the way he talks is you can sit and laugh. He was a very nice person in a way. And mostly, I have to say that after the baseball incident, his way of writing is changed also in Tamil. Earlier he was doing it, but that incident was caused by Dr. Jeyaraj. I think it was some of those articles Dr. Jeyaraj was writing in his newspaper. It made him to suffer. So these all are history, and we have to talk about all of these things in a different forum. இன்னும் சொல்ல போனா DBS is a fantastic you can say that his way of writing is very, very much interesting, and mostly he wrote a lot of articles about Mr. Amrithalingam, with whom I am always admire, and the articles you can see when he writes the articles, he collects a lot of information from different places, and then he compiles it in a way that it serves its purpose. Mali Anna he will agree that Mali Annayum DBS-um தான் இந்த கடைசி காலங்களுக்குள்ள மிஸ்டர் அமுதலிங்கத்தை பற்றி மிக அதிகமாக எழுதிய ஆட்கள் என்று நினைக்கிறேன். ஏனென்று சொன்னால் எல்லோருமே ஏதோ ஒரு மாயைக்கு பயந்து சில விஷயங்களை செய்யாம விட்டு கொண்டு இருக்கும் போது ஒரு சிலர் மட்டும்தான் அந்த அதுக்குள்ளால நாங்க இதை சொல்லியே தீர வேணும் என்று சொல்ற ஆட்கள், அதை எந்த பயமும் இல்லாமல், அதே நேரத்தில் எந்த பக்கசார்பு என்று கூட சொல்ல மாட்டேன், ஏன்னா பக்கசார்பு இருக்கத்தான் செய்யும். ஆனால் மிக அழகாக சொல்ற ஆட்கள்ல மாலி அண்ணையும் போல நான் DBS-ஐயும் சொல்ல முடியும். நிறைய மாலி அண்ணையோட எழுத்துக்கள்ல நிறைய ஒரு சுருக்கமா சொன்னா கொஞ்சம் உண்மை இருக்கும். DBS அவர்களுடைய எழுத்துக்கள்ல நிறைய விஷயங்களுடைய தொகுப்புகள் இருக்கும். அப்ப இந்த தொகுப்புகளால சில வேளை அவர் விமர்சிக்கப்படுவதற்கும் காரணமாக போயிருப்பது உண்டு. ஆனால் அவருடைய இழப்பு உண்மையிலேயே ஒரு மிகப்பெரிய இழப்பு. ஏனென்று சொன்னார், தமிழிலே ஆங்கில மொழியை வைத்து எழுதுபவர்கள் மிக குறைவாக இருக்கிறார்கள். மிக குறைவாக என்பதை விட இல்லை என்று கூட சொல்லக்கூடிய அளவுக்கு இருக்கிறது. ஆங்கிலத்திலே எழுதும் போது மிக அழகாக இந்த தமிழ் சம்பந்தப்பட்ட விஷயங்களை அந்த மற்ற அவர் யார் எந்த ஆடியன்ஸை குறிவைத்து எழுதுகிறாரோ அந்த ஆடியன்ஸுக்கு பல விஷயங்களை அப்படி நாசுக்காக சொல்வதிலே டிபிஎஸ் ஒரு மிக 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 ஒரு மன்னன் என்றுதான் சொல்ல வேண்டும். அவருடைய எழுத்து ஆளுமையை பொறுத்தவரையிலே அவருடைய என்னுடைய வீட்டுக்கு மிக அருகில் தான் அவர் இருந்தார். ஆனால் அவரை சென்று சந்திப்பதற்கான சந்தர்ப்பங்கள் வாய்க்கவில்லை என்பதுதான் மிக கவலை தருகின்ற ஒரு விஷயம். மற்றபடிக்கு சினிமா சம்பந்தமாகவோ அல்லது அரசியல் சம்பந்தமாக சமீப காலத்திலே திருமதி மங்கையர்கரசி அமிர்தலிங்கத்தை பற்றி கூட அவர் ஒரு கட்டுரை எழுதினார். இதற்கு முன்பு யாருமே செய்ததாக கூட தெரியவில்லை என்று நினைக்கிறேன். ஏனென்று சொன்னால் அவர் அந்த கட்டுரைகள் எல்லாமே ஒரு நேரத்திலே செய்யப்பட வேண்டியவை என்பது போன்ற ஒரு தோற்றப்பாட்டோடு வந்த கட்டுரைகள். இதைவிடவும் அதற்கு முன்பு எழுதப்பட்ட பல்வேறு கட்டுரைகளையும் நீங்கள் பார்த்தீர்களாக இருந்தால் அவை எல்லாமே பல விஷயங்களினுடைய தொகுப்பு என்பதை நான் மீண்டும் ஒரு முறை சொல்ல முடியும். இதிலே நாங்கள் தாயகம் என்ற பத்திரிகை நடத்தி கொண்டிருக்கின்ற அந்த காலத்திலே அவர் மஞ்சரி என்ற பத்திரிகையிலே எழுதிய கட்டுரைகளை கூட பார்த்தீர்கள் என்றால் அவருடைய ஆடியன்ஸுக்கு என்னத்தை சொல்ல வேண்டுமோ அப்படிப்பட்ட ஏராளமான விஷயங்களை தொகுத்து வழங்கி கொண்டு இருப்பார். அந்த வகையில ஒரு மிக 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 திறமையான மிக 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 தமிழ் எழுதுவதும் ஆங்கிலத்திலே எழுதுவதும் சற்று அந்த ஆடியன்ஸ் வித்தியாசம் இருக்கின்றபடியால சில வேளைகளிலே வித்தியாசமாக இருந்தாலும் கூட ஆங்கிலத்திலே இன்று இந்த அளவிற்கு ஒரு எங்களை பிரதிநிதித்துவப்படுத்தி எழுதக்கூடியவர்கள் இல்லை. அந்த இடத்திலே we really have to kind of we admire his writings and now we have to give him a big salute. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murthy. Thank you.
மூர்த்தி, உங்கள்ட்ட சின்ன கேள்வி. தாயகம் பத்திரிகை தொடங்கினது யாரு?
George.
Oh, okay. George Khrushchev. Yeah, okay.
Khrushchev.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Mr. Jamil, would you like to say a few words? Sorry.
Sardar Jamil.
Thank you, Mr. Jamil. One else, you're free to unmute and talk and say a few words. Feel free to do so. Mr. Anandra. Anybody else? Sir.
If nobody else is speaking, I like to express
Thank you.
my passion for his articles, both in English and Tamil predominantly. And also I like to how we miss him sort of thing, and whether in future, whether we'll have that caliber of journalism. And Sri Lanka is famous for losing a lot of journalists like Lasanta and Eknali Goda and so on. I'm also reminded when I saw Mr. Lionel Bopage, I'm not sure the first rally at Slave Island, Hyde Park in 1969 or 68. I don't know whether you were there. I was a young employee at Bank of Ceylon. So yes, we were active with the Bank Employees Union. It was one of those. So that was the first rally held in public in Colombo by the Janata Vimukti Peramuna. Anyway, coming back to Mr. DBS Jeyaraj, his connection, I myself a Christian, a Methodist, so his maternal uncle is Reverend M.A. Ratnaraja, is predominantly a famous preacher under the Methodist Church. So there is no surprise DBS got his talent too, and exhibiting his talent through his journalism. And I am not sure, there was, when I was living in United Kingdom for a short time, there was a conference where Nadumaran from Tamil Nadu and MP Annamale, everybody came. I think it was organized by one of the Tamil organization for the International Conference on the Tamil issues. And I think Mr. DBS was there. I would have taken a picture with him, but I'll have to dig into my old albums and see. So that was the only occasion I was able to meet him in person, because we were concentrating on taking pictures with South Indian politicians. But certainly the incident that lawyer was referring to, the baseball incident, which hurt us all more, and but surprisingly he survived. So amidst all the difficulties for the journalist, we can see how brave he was. He continued to write, and well-researched and documented presentation both in English and Tamil, so that all our communities were able to benefit by that. இதற்காக அவருடைய சேவைக்கு நாங்கள் நன்றி செல்ல கடமைப்பட்டுள்ளோம். அவருடைய ஆத்மா சாந்தி அடைவதாக. நன்றி.
Thank you very much. Time in Melbourne is 10:45, so we'll close it in another 15 minutes, by 11 o'clock. And we have 15 minutes, so anyone else to say a few words. No.
You want to speak, Rudy? Unmute, my friend.
Your microphone is muted.
No.
Still it is mute.
Yes. Orga, Muti orga, Judy சொல்றியா unmute it சொல்லி.
அவனை விளங்கல வாசனை.
Call him directly.
அன்மியூட் பண்ணுடா. அன்மியூட். அந்த மூலையில போய் அந்த ப்ளூ கலர் இருக்குல்ல, அதுல கிளிக் பண்ணு. அதுல கிளிக் பண்ணிட்டு அன்மியூட் பண்ணு.
இந்த மைக்கோட சிவப்பு மாதிரி இருக்கும், அதுல போன் போல இருக்கு. என்ன
அது போன் அதுல போய் அன்மியூட். அது வேற இல்லை.
So, can I read the his obituary I have read? Yeah, I will. Then we'll finish it up. Huh?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So passing DBS marks a profound loss in the pursuit of truth and integrity in journalism. A seasoned journalist from Sri Lankan Tamil community, he was far more than a reporter. He was a perceptive social observer whose work reflected both courage and clarity. His writing was definitely honest. He remained faithful to his stories without embellishment or distortion. Even when one disagreed with his perspectives, his commitment to the truthful reporting was never in doubt. Remarkably, his readership extended across the ethnic divide. Many of my Sinhalese friends would turn first to his articles before reading others in the paper. To earn such a trust across the Sri Lanka was no small achievement. It was a testament to his credibility and moral authority as a journalist. I have been reading his work since my youth, encountering his columns in the Sunday Island, often from behind the Kajan curtains. That was his thing. Those writings were eye-opening and helped to shape my understanding of Sri Lankan society and politics. Our path continued to intersect over the years. After I migrated to Australia and he later settled in Toronto, he remained deeply engaged in Tamil political discourse. When I founded the Udayam newspaper in Australia in 1987, we stayed in close contact and had the privilege of publishing many of his articles. Our conversation, whether in person during my visit to Toronto or over the phone, often revolved around the complexities and increasing the decline of Tamil politics in Sri Lanka. In recent years, he regularly shared his columns with me, especially after joining the Facebook. While I occasionally commented on them, I would sometimes tell him that writing about certain Tamil politicians was a waste of his valuable time. He would acknowledge my view, yet continue, because he saw it was his duty as a journalist. In truth, he always went beyond the duty. His knowledge of Sri Lankan politics was encyclopedic, and his writing style carried the rare warmth like a wise elder narrating stories to the next generation. That is his style, just narrating the ordinary people to understand. I mean, my earlier visit to Toronto, I usually meet him outside at the Tim Hortons or nearby shops. But in September last year, he invited my wife Shyamala and me to his home. While Shyamala and Dashini was chatted, we spoke at length about the politics. With my medical background, I sense his declining health. His mobility was clearly affected. Yet I never imagined we would lose him so soon. We spoke a few times after the visit, though not in the final 2 months. He continued sending his article until 25th of March, the last one on Tamil singer Soundararajan. I was traveling in Italy at that time, I could not respond. On returning Melbourne, I realized the deep regret that I have not reached him again. His passing not only a great loss to the Tamil community, but also deeply personal one to me. His work influenced my own writing, including the introduction to my first novel and my other book on veterinary narratives. We are unlikely to see another journalist of his stature and integrity anytime soon. My heartfelt condolence to Darshini and her extended family. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nader. Thank you, Nader.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
everybody.
Thank you. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody for your participation and also for your comments. And really appreciate your focus in sort of from personal friendship, from professional relationships, from your political experiences you have spoken, and which I very much appreciate. I'm sending a tribute to be published probably by this evening, but I would like to read, as I did, I'll try to read the last bit. Mr. Jeyaraj was in virtual exile for most of his working life, yet his love for Sri Lanka and his commitment to its democratic future never diminished. He remained committed to his work despite declining health, sharing columns until shortly before his death. This constancy, that refusal to be worn down, was itself a statement about what journalism at its best can be. Mr. Jeyaraj demonstrated across 4 decades that it is possible to love one's community and still tell the truth about it. That moral courage is not a betrayal of solidarity, but its highest expression. That the label of traitor, so freely applied to those who insist on honesty, says everything about those who apply it and nothing about those to whom it is applied. He celebrated life by insisting on truth. He did so when it cost him his safety. He did so when it cost him his newspapers. He did so 4 decades afterwards in exile, building a body of work what stands as both journalism and testimony. The void he leaves will be extremely hard to fill. Perhaps it will not be filled. We extend our heartfelt condolences to his wife, his family, and all who knew him. And we honor him as he would have wished to be honored, soberly, honestly, and with gratitude for the work he left behind. Thank you. So I again thank you all, and let us try to fill his role by doing whatever we can to fulfill what he expected from us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I will end the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.